Attached to the lesson. I hope you are ready to write and take down the notes. Before we continue, let us humble ourselves into a word of prayer. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Oh Allah, we thank you for the life. We thank you for the honor you have given us up to now. We thank you for protecting us and our parents. We thank you for all the joy and success that we have been able to achieve so far. Lord God, we pray to you to continue protecting us and providing for us, because we know to you to continue protecting us and providing for us, because we know to you we return for all that we want. We have to ask you. We worship you. We venerate you, O Allah. We ask you to keep protecting and guiding us. Guide us against all evil and make us be righteous people in all we do. Enable us to understand all that we are going to study and make it of good use to us and the Ummah. In your name, Allah, we pray. Dear students, let us get ready for Geography Paper 1. That is East Africa. We are continuing with the fishing topic, and I believe we have not yet completed the topic. So today, I want us to continue with the importances of fishing, because as far as I know, we have already done the methods, the importances, the factors responsible for the growth and development of fishing industry in East Africa. So today I want us to look at importances of fishing to the development of East Africa, or the contributions of the fishing industry to the development of East Africa. Or you can again phrase it this way and say the benefits of fishing to the development or to the people of East Africa. Benefits of fishing to the people of East Africa. Now, on the screen, we have the importances, and let us write. One, we are saying fishing has generated employment opportunities to the people who work in the fishing industry. For example, fishermen, hence providing a source of income. So we are saying that fishing provides something to do to many people. People have what to do. Okay, it is an employment opportunity, and so somebody has a chance to have something to do in life. Okay, so for example, those who carry out the fishing, those who clean around the landing sites, and so on and so forth. Next, point number 2, fishing is a source of income to people who sell fish directly. These people who sell fish, okay, who sell fish and fish-related products. When they sell the fish, which improves people's standards of living. So those people who sell the fish, these people who get the fish and they sell it directly, they get cash. So that cash is the one we are looking at as income. And with this income, they are able to improve their standards of living. 3, we are saying fishing leads to urbanization through growth and development of ports and fish landing sites. Towns grow out of these fish landing sites. Okay, towns or cities grow out of these fishing ports. For example, Mombasa. Look at Mombasa. Look at Dar es Salaam. Look at Malindi. All these ports. Okay, Mwanza port. All these ports have grown into big cities. Why? Because of the flourishing activity of fishing on these ports. Okay. So next, we are saying point number 4. It leads to development of transport facilities like roads. Okay, are we together? Roads, ferry routes. The ferry routes, the communication on water bodies is through ferry routes. Okay, so these ferry routes, as they are developed, airstrips, which is movement of fish to market centers. Okay, so because of that, there is development of transport and communication facilities in the area, which in order to ease the movement of fish to market centers, and by so doing, the whole area ends up being well developed. Okay. The second, somebody is asking, I thought somebody wanted to. Okay, so I thought there were some questions for me, or people wanted to. I wanted to respond to some of the questions on the chat. I thought some people were typing, but they are not mine. That is Senior 5 chat room. I wanted to look at Senior 3 chat room. Okay, please feel free to type in your questions or whatever you would like to know. Feel free to type in, and I'll be able to answer some of these questions in case there are any. So let us continue with number 5. Can we continue with number 5? It is a source of revenue. It is a source of revenue through taxes that is used. It's the source of revenue through taxes or through taxation that is used for infrastructural development. Okay, so when we look at how these fishermen are taxed. For example, when they are selling their fish or before they leave the landing site, there is a tax levied on them. As they sell their fish or they export their fish outside their countries, their home countries, they have to pay excise duty or export duty. So all that is taxation. So now that revenue got collected by the government is the one that the government uses to develop other sectors like roads, like hospitals, schools, and so on. Next 6. It is a source of foreign exchange. How is the foreign exchange acquired or got? Through the exportation of the fish and fish products, through the exportation of the fish and fish products. And this foreign exchange is what is used to improve international trade and other investments. Okay, and other investments. Next, we are looking at point number 8. Point number 8 here. Is it 8 or rather 7? 7 rather. So it is fish is a source of medicinal value for better health. For example, cod liver oil is extracted from fish to treat stomach upsets. Okay, some people, for example, children, babies, okay, toddlers, when they are having unease in the stomach, they give them the cod liver oil and so many other extracts. For example, the fish, like how do you call the skin of fish? The fish skin, how do you call it? You must be able to know because now you have gadgets. How do we call it? Okay, without using the layman's English of the skin, the fish skin. That skin, when it is extracted and used and put on over the area that has got a burn, okay, that has got a burn, that skin is very good treatment for burns and scalds, okay. So that is the medicinal value of fish and some fish products. Can we move on? Can we move on to which number now? To which point? Which point? I would like to see your chats. I would like to see your questions. Somebody says the discussion room is not working. Oh, sorry. Are you sure the discussion room is not working? What do we do now? Okay, but I hope you're seeing the notes on the screen. And I'm not seeing their chats even. Yes. I don't know why. I don't know why the discussion room is not working. That will require Mr. Sachet. Okay, sorry about that interruption, but I think I'm going to wait until Mr. Sechide comes in to help me with the machine because I cannot operate as I discuss. But anyway, let us continue with point number 9. Point number 9. Reserve those questions. We shall come back to them when we get to open discussion. I know we shall get there after some time. So reserve your questions. We are going to interact. We shall interact. Don't worry. So next, we are looking at point number 9. It promotes development of other sectors like trade, comma, not the comma, semicolon. Like trade, how does it promote development of trade? Through the buying and selling of fish and fish products. Okay. So I put those semicolons there to indicate or to mean that each of the mentioned item there can be a full point. It promotes development of other sectors like trade through the buying and selling of fish and fish products. It promotes the development of the forestry sector. How? Through provision of raw material or timber that is used in the making of the boat. It provides or it promotes agricultural sector. How? Through promotion or provision of raw materials in the making of fertilizers. Okay, so that is how that point is supposed to be expounded, which enhances economic development. I hope we are together. Somebody is saying we have no access to. I don't know. Okay, we shall get there. Nasanga Aisha, we shall get there. Don't worry. We shall get there. Let us first get the what? The notes. I hope it's not the problem with my gadget. Next, we are looking at fishing promotes industrialization because it provides raw materials for fish processing industries. Okay, look at the idea of fishing and it promoting industrialization. So many industries have been set up to process fish related materials or fish related products. For example, industries that produce fertilizers, okay, they get their raw material from the fish itself, the bones and so on. Industries that produce animal feeds, for example, they get chicken mash from some fish types. Okay, it involves mixing some fish types like silverfish, the bones, the shells. Okay, the shells. You have had farmers talking of. I'm looking for shells. Obsonko. Okay, obsonko. All that are fish. All those are fish products. So they are crushed and mixed with chicken feed or other animal feeds. Next, the next point is talking of fish being a food. Okay, so fish is a source of food, or fish is eaten as food to improve people's diets. Okay, so you get proteins from the consumption of fish. So when consumed, it helps to promote or to provide to improve people's diets. Next, fishing promotes tourism. Fishing promotes tourism, which encourages fishing promotes tourism, which encourages recreational activities. For example, fishing, sport fishing. Okay, so we are saying that one of the importances of fishing is that it it promotes it promotes recreational activities or tourism through encouraging recreational activities, which recreational activities include sport fishing and so many others, Okay, so that is it. Those are some of the ideas about the importance or the benefits, how beneficial fishing industry is to the economy of East Africa. There's so many, okay? And they're not new. I want you to also note that we are explaining or we are describing the point at one point or another. So look at all those points. You will realize that at one point, the point has been explained. By explaining, we are looking at or we are talking about how, the how, oh, cause, why. When you are explaining, okay, so you are giving the how or the why or the importance, the importance the importance of the factor. When you are explaining, this is what you do. When they ask you to explain the benefits of fishing to the development of East Africa, don't just outline the points and say you have finished. You must, in your points, this part has to be answered either how or why or the importance, okay, the result. That is why, in most of the points, if you are to look at the benefits that we have given, for example, fish is eaten as food. For what? Oh, how? Oh, what is the importance of it being eaten as a food? we are saying, and we are adding, that's why we added, or that's why I added, to improve people's diets. When we talk of a point like uh, fish, fish is a source of medicinal value. At one point, in that factor, something either how or why. Why do you say it is used as a medicinal value? Because some extracts are got from fish used to treat some ailments, or some upsets, ailments. Okay, some diseases, okay, stomach upsets, okay, intestinal upsets, and so on. So we use what, some fish extracts. When you talk of a point like it has promoted tourism, how has it promoted tourism? That's why I added, through encouraging recreational activities and sport fishing. So that way you are explaining. Okay? If you do not explain your points, if you do not add something onto your points, then you are not doing any explanation per se. Are we together? I hope we are moving in the same direction. Okay? I hope we are moving in the same direction. So somebody is asking about the notes. The notes have been attached, and if we are to be screen sharing, you would be able to see the screen. But unfortunately, I think the machine's jammed, and I cannot share my screen with you. Okay, so can we move on to the next issue, and that is problems facing the fishing industry. Problems facing the fishing industry in East Africa. Problems facing the fishing industry in East Africa. Are we there? Are we together? Can we move on? Can we move on? Next, one of the problems that we have facing the fishing industry in East Africa, we have number one, use of inappropriate technology in the fishing industry. For example, use of bad methods of fishing that lead to overfishing and consequent exhaustion of fish resources. For example, the use of fish poison. Some fishermen prefer to use poison to maximize their catch. Okay, to maximize their catch of the fish on the water bodies. They use poison. They put poison over the water body, and a lot of fish will die. So for them, they just come and get the fish and put it on market. That is a very dangerous method, very bad. Even the young fish shall be killed, and and again there is pollution of the water body and so on. So use of inappropriate technology in the fishing industry, for example, use of bad fishing methods that lead to overfishing and exhaustion of fish resources. That is point number one. Okay. Now let us go to point number two. Point number two, we are saying there is shortage of capital. Shortage of capital to invest in the fishing industry for improved production. I don't want you to use that word lack. Most of you use lack of capital. Lack of capital. This is wrong. If you are to look at all the notes that you have, there is no point that comes up as lack of this, lack of that. No. So please, if you have not been able to see it, okay, in the notes that we give you, you should also not use it or give it as one of your points. We use such words like limited capital, shortage of capital, okay, inadequate capital, you see. So do not use that word lack. Lack is not called for. It is not an appropriate word to be used when talking about geographical factors. So let us use, or let us say, because when you say lack of something means that there is completely nothing. Okay, that's why we discourage it. When you say lack of capital, that means they do not have anything like capital at all. So they are completely out of capital, which is not true. Okay, and it is not even logical. Okay, so that's why we prefer use of such neutral words like shortage of capital to invest, shortage of capital to invest in the fishing industry for improved production. Point number three. Point number three. Let us move. Point number three. Some fishing grounds are too shallow to allow big fishing vessels. For example, some areas along the East African coast. Some areas along the East African coast. Why do you think that some of these areas are shallow? Who can give me a reason? Who can give me a reason? I want to see your answers. You can type in your answer. Use your chat. You are not seeing. Use your chart. Why do you think we are saying some areas are too shallow? For example, along the East African coast. Why do we say that some areas along the East African coast are too shallow? I'm not saying anything. I want your answers. The discussion room. Okay. Your answers are delaying and I'm running short of time. Okay, the reason why the East African coast, some areas are shallow because of the presence of the coral reefs. So the coral reefs, or that rock, okay, the rock that makes up the coral reef, provides or makes the fishing ground to become shallow, and therefore big water vessels cannot go there or cannot carry out any fishing activity in those areas. So that is one. Let's go to point number 4. Are you together with me? Point number 4. Point number 4 is difficulty in accessing some fishing grounds due to bad roads. Okay, difficulty. I don't want you to say poor transport and communication. That is also another wrong way of phrasing your answers. Don't use that. At least the problem there is difficult. The transport is there. Okay, the transport is there, but it is hard to drive on. Either the roads are too narrow or the roads have ditches in them, potholes, and so on, or there are bushes on either side of the roads, and so the road becomes so narrow. So we are saying difficult in accessing some fishing grounds due to bad roads. So those roads that are too narrow, okay, they have potholes, they are not easy to drive on. Those are the ones we call bad roads. It becomes a bad road. They are too dusty, they are slippery, they are only used during dry weather, okay? Sometimes we call them dry weather roads. So it becomes difficult to drive on them, and because of the dust and so on. And if you are to be very, very keen, most of the roads that connect landing sites to main roads are dusty. Okay, they are dry weather roads. Okay, they are maram roads. So those roads are bad. They are not good. So it becomes difficult to connect the landing sites to the market centers. Next, pollution of water by both industrial and domestic wastes, leading to death of fish, stroke uh, destruction of fish resources. So because some water bodies are bordered by, some industries are constructed along water bodies to get easy access to the water itself, because to some industries, this water is a raw material, okay, in some of these industries. So they are located near water bodies. But as they are so, they again go ahead and deposit their wastes in the water bodies, which makes the water bodies to become polluted, and in the end killing the water or the fish resource in this water body. Is it okay now? Okay. Next, presence of predators, predators like crocodiles, which lower the amounts of fish catch. Okay, these predators eat the fish. For example, the crocodiles and other predators. Because, for example, we have the fish, the kingfisher. Okay, that bird, the whitish brown bird that is always on water bodies to catch the fish. So, is it okay now?
The chat is there, but the discussion room is not working.
Okay. Can I see their chat? Can I see their questions or their?
Then chat. There are no questions.
Okay. There are no questions. Okay. So can we move on? Let's move on. Next, competition for market with developed countries, for example, Japan, Norway, Canada, etc. These countries also carry out fishing. They use very modernized fishing methods. Therefore, their fishing or their catch is usually much higher than the East Africans. Okay, and two, the quality of fish. Okay, as they catch the fish, they are processing it right away. Okay, even when they are still on the waters. Okay, they catch the fish and process it right away. Either they fry or they tin it immediately or they skin that, they make fish fillets right away on the boats, okay, on the fishing boats. Unlike East Africa, fishing is done and processing is not done right away. It is done after some time. So the quality and amount of fish caught on the fishing grounds of East Africa is lower than that of other countries, like the developed countries like Japan, Norway, and others. And this leads to a small market enjoyed by the East Africa. It affects the market of fish that is available for the East African countries. In the end, it leads to low profits from the fish sale for the East African countries. We move on to point number 9, problems. We move on to point number 9. Presence of waterweed. Presence of waterweed. Presence of waterweed, which limits fish metabolism. Now, fish metabolism is, we are looking at fish feeding activities, fish growth, fish multiplication, okay, where we have a waterweed on the water surface. It affects the amount of fresh air that is going to go into the water for the fish to breathe. it is going to affect the amount of fresh air that goes into the water for the planktons to grow. Okay, that is, the planktons are the fish foods. Okay, so they need the light for them to grow. Now, if we have a water weed covering the surface of the water, it is going to affect the amount of oxygen into the water. Oxygen for the fish, oxygen for the plants that are growing in the water, for them to be fed on by the fish. So, with all that chain being affected, we are seeing that the amount of fish available in the waters is reducing because of the fish. Because of the water weed. And again, the water weed also affects or hinders the fishing activity. Okay, the fishermen cannot do their fishing activity right, okay, or effectively because of the presence of the water weed. So it greatly affects the fishing activity. Next, the other point is the other problem, limited fish species of economic value available in the East African fishing grounds. East African fishing grounds dominated by mainly tilapia and maybe Nile perch and other marine fish, for example, the cod and so on. But the variety, there are so many other varieties of fish that are of economic value worldwide. Okay, when you talk of tilapia, yes, it is a delicacy to many people around African, but the international market has other varieties of fish that are not available in the East African fishing grounds. Okay, so that's why we have that point there, point number 10. Limited fish species of economic value, which also limits the income from fish sales for the East African governments. Next, insecurity of many fishing grounds due to pirates who rob fishermen of their property, like fish nets and so on, and sometimes they kill them. Sometimes these pirates, the pirates are the robbers on sea or on water bodies. Like we have highway robbers, okay, on roads, okay, on roads, okay. On water bodies, we call them pirates, okay. So they steal, they disorganize fishing activity on the water bodies, and in the end, it leads to reduced revenue from or reduced income from the fishing industry. Next, indiscriminate fishing, indiscriminate fishing, indiscriminate fishing by which premature fish is also extracted, leading to depletion of fish, where we use methods like passeining, okay, that passeining method. We also have other methods that do not discriminate whether this fish is mature or the other one is the other one is premature. In Uganda, those fishermen have what they call a method called mukokota. So for them, and actually that is the past saying, for them, they just put the net and hurl it on the fish board. Fish on the water body bed. Okay, they hurl it and they collect all the fish that comes along its way, whether young or mature. So that is what we call indiscriminate fishing. Lastly, we have that point number 13, limited local market for fish. Limited local market for fish. I wanted to look at some of the questions, but there are no questions yet. I thought some people have. But you people are not responding. You're not active. It seems you're just seated there and watching. No, I don't want that. I want us to interact. Okay, we should ask questions. I do not want this one man's show. I don't want one man's show. I like interaction. So please use the chat room, ask questions, uh, talk, say what you feel is on your mind. Let me hear you out. Let me see what you're saying, okay, about what we are doing right now. If there is a point that you are not uh, sure of, or it has not come well to you, you have not understood it well, please come. I mean, type in your chat such that I can see what you are talking. So point number 14, unending disputes, stroke conflicts among some East African countries due to shared water resources, which hinders fishing activities. For example, we have one of the fishing grounds that is being shared. Which one is that? Okay, tell me. Tell me which fishing ground is being shared. Tell me. I'm looking at your chat. I'm not seeing any answers. Please type your answers. Senior 3, senior 3, girls and boys. I want to see your answers. Tell me the water body or the fishing ground that is being shared by East African countries. Which one is that? I'm not seeing your answers. Ah, you are boring. We are not seeing the notes. Are you sure you're not seeing the notes? Buembo, you are not seeing the notes. The notes are attached. Somebody is asking, what's marine fishing? Yes. And that is Buembo. Marine fishing. But I want you to first answer my question. How very good, Lake Victoria. Very good, very good. Very good, Lake Victoria. Which other fishing ground is shared? Which other fishing ground? Apart from Lake Victoria, which other fishing ground is shared? Is it only Lake Victoria that you know? Come on, remember we have Lake Edward. Okay, Lake Edward is also shared. We also have the Indian Ocean. It's also shared. Tanzanians and Kenyans. Okay, there is a lower end for Tanzania. There is an upper end for Kenya. So all those fishing grounds are shared. Wherever there is sharing, members, wherever there is sharing, there has to be conflict. Okay, the other part will be the other side will be saying you have taken the lion's share. Then the other one will say no, it is mine. There will be disagreement over who is taking what. So because of that activity, I mean that nature of sharing, we have conflicts and disputes, and it hinders fishing activities. Next, limited government support in the fishing activities, fishermen need to be assisted in terms of loans for capitation. Okay, some fishermen run out of capital. They need to be reimbursed. They need to be re-strengthened. Okay, so because they are not given that strength and support, they sometimes they pull out. Yeah, because we have got your answer, Lake Victoria. Now please turn your attention to the point now. So we are saying fishermen need to be supported. Fishermen need to be given some assistance in terms of capital, in terms of loans which are interest free. Because if you are to assist them and then give them loans with interest, you are not doing anything. Okay, so governments of East Africa need to come to this. Next, increased profit repatriation. That word there, increased profit repatriation by foreign investors who control a large percentage of the fishing resources. So you remember, or if you are to take a very good note of the fishing industry in East Africa, it is largely controlled by foreign investors. And you know what these foreigners do? They they will extract whatever they want from our fisheries department or from our fishing grounds. They take to the international market, they sell, and after the sale of all that they have got, the revenue, I mean the profit that are realized, the profits that are realized from the sale of fish will not be reinvested in the East African countries. Instead, they take it back to their home countries and invest it there. For example, if these investors or these foreign investors are Indians, they will take it back to India and invest, open up more investments in India. If they are if they are from maybe England, they will take back all that they have realized as profit to England. They will not invest it back into East Africa. Sometimes we use the word plowing. They will not plow back into East African countries. They take back to their home countries. That's what we call profit repatriation. Okay, profit repatriation. And next, we are saying that accidents largely occur on the waters during the fishing activity. Accidents occur on the waters uh, during the fishing activities, during which some fishermen lose their lives. Okay, sometimes they die because of these accidents. So that is also another problem affecting or facing uh, the fishing industry. So, with those points, I want us to close the chapter of problems affecting. But before we go there, I have a burning question, a discussion question for us here to do or to deliberate on and come up with ideas. Question: outline the problems caused by fishing on the environment. I want you to take down that point, that question, and let us discuss it. Let us share ideas about this. Outline the problems caused by fishing on the environment. What are some of the problems that we can come up with? What are some of the problems? I'm waiting. We are discussing, members. Type in your points. I want you to type in your points and let us share. Type in your points and let us share. Okay? What are some of the problems? Can we discuss the problems caused by fishing on the environment? What are some of the problems caused by fishing on the environment? Come on, let us respond. We have to interact. I told you I do not want a one-man show. Let us share. Okay, we are discussing because this is something that we are acquainted with during this lockdown. Some of us are even fishermen and women. Not so. Some of us have been involved in the fishing activity. What do you think are some of the problems? Okay, what are some of the effects of what you are doing on the environment? I'm waiting for your answers. I'm here waiting for your answers. Can you come up with your answers? I'm waiting. Type in your chat. Yes, Salma, fishing may lead to death of some aquatic animals. Very true. That's very good, Salma. Salma, that is very good. Any other factor or any other problem? First of all, do we know what we are doing? Do we know the kind of points that I expect from you? Water pollution, how? Brawling, water pollution, how? How does it lead to water pollution? Fishing destroys species that could have developed tourism industry. How? Yes, that's true, but how? Fishing destroys species. I would love it if you mentioned, yes, Nasanga, Aisha, at least you go on and say fishing destroys species like that could have developed tourism industry. Very good. Very good idea here, but it is lacking the example of the species that could be destroyed. Any other point? Brolin, your point is not complete. Water pollution. No. I want something more than that. Don't just mention, don't just hint at a point. Give me what you are meaning. How is the water pollution coming into play? Yes, no. You want to come up with a point? Please. Some people use poisonous methods for fishing. Yes. Leading to what? Leading to what? Okay, so you see, you are breaking your points. I don't know whether it is the problem with the typing. Fishing leads to decline in the tourism sector since aquatic life is destroyed due to indiscriminate fishing. Yes, good. I hope you are taking down these points. Complete them, modify them, and complete them. Modify them and have them down in your books. So, but before we do that, okay, listen now, listen. Members, listen, hence Brolin's answer. Very good. Yes, Nachedre, you have really done it well here. She's saying that fishing leads to decline in tourism sector. No, not that one. Some people use poisonous methods of fishing, hence pollution. Hence water pollution. Very good. Okay, very good. Some people use poisonous methods of fishing, hence water pollution. I want you to also add this. I'm also adding my view onto the pollution thing. How else is pollution seen? When the fishing is being carried out, oil spills from these fishing vessels. Okay, oils. Okay, oils spill from these fishing vessels and is into the water. Okay, so those oil spills suffocate the fish. Okay, suffocate the fish, and the fish will not be able to breathe well. Okay, that is an addition to water pollution. How else is the water polluted? It is polluted by use of poisonous methods of fishing, and it is also polluted by using oil spills that come from the fishing vessels. Okay. Next, how else is fishing a problem to the environment? Let us move away from the pollution bit now. Okay. Because you have given only 2 points. You have given one, the pollution point. You have given 2, the destruction of resources that would attract tourists. That is 2. So I want us to also look at the other ways in which fishing can be a problem. Yes, my dear Damlila Tasneem. Yes, fishing Gia. Tasneem, I'm not getting your point. Come up again. Any other points? Any other? Tasneem, type your point better. Rephrase your point. Otherwise, it has not come up well. Yes, Nasanga, you want to bring up a point? Yes, type very fast. I'm running short of time. but let us try to do this very fast. I want another point. How else, Nasanga, fish species such as sprats and eels? Yes, what is that? Sprats and eels? I think, Nasanga, you are giving those fish species that are not available on the East African fishing grounds. For example, we don't have sprats, we don't have eels, yes, but I want us to give problems related caused by fishing on the environment. Yeah, that is heavy or large, can harm the environment while catching fish. Tasnim, this point, I don't want you to take it up. It is not yet clear. Any other point, any other way? How is fishing affecting the environment? How is fishing affecting? What are some of the bad effects of fishing on the environment? We have given pollution, we have given destruction of fish resources that would attract tourists. Those are 2 points so far. I want another way, another point. Salma, come up with another one. Yes, Swab Hat, Kasirie, yes, Kasirie Amal, you want to come up with a point? I'm anxiously waiting for that point. Swabahat, please come up with a point. Type very fast. Type very fast. Yes, Buwembo. People are typing. I think the problem is with typing. But I know with time you're going to have it easy. Yes, Amal, where is your answer? I'm soon closing. Fishing reduces market for the economic activities. No, that is not an environmental problem. Salma, that is not an environmental problem. Now, fishing leads to deforestation. Very good, Brolin. This is what I was waiting for. Fishing, very good, very good. Brolin, this is very good. Fishing leads to deforestation, hence trees are cut down to make boats, etc., used during fishing. Very good. Forests are cut down to get firewood used in the preservation method. Very good, very good. Very good chat here. That is, and if that is done, I want to move on to something else. Okay, so briefly, that is how fishing leads to destruction of the environment. When we are looking at anything to do with the environment, members, attention here. Are you seeing the board? Can you see the board? Can you see the board clearly? When we are looking at environment, what is environment? Environment entails the following: vegetation. It entails the vegetation, okay? It entails the water, okay? Environment comprises land, stroke soil. Environment comprises air, okay? So when I talk of how something affects the environment, I want us to look at the effect of what is in the question on these items. It includes even man. Okay? At one point we said that fishing involves or is associated with accidents. Okay? So I expected you to also note that down as an effect of fishing on the environment, because we say it involves accidents in which some people die. Some people lose their lives because of accidents. So that is also an effect of fishing on the environment. Okay, so I expected you to note that and say that fishing leads to death of animals, or fishing leads to death of people who are part of the environment through accidents. Okay, I expected you to tell me how fishing leads to destruction of vegetation, okay, because trees are cut down to make boats, to make firewood, to get firewood for preservation, okay, preservation through smoking. You remember? You must have done this. Methods of preservation of fish. One of them is smoking. And how do they do the smoking? They light a fire, and hot air is passed over the fish. Okay, that is the smoking. And therefore, how do they make that fire? Using firewood. Is that clear? Okay, that smoked fish is got by destroying vegetation or getting firewood from cutting off the trees. I wanted you to tell me how fishing affects water bodies. That one, you said it very well, by pollution and so on. So these other effects that you have given, fishing exposes fishermen to flies. No. Some fishing methods, Iggy poisoning, may harm other fishing. Yes, that is pollution. But these other methods, these other points that you are giving are not valid. Okay? They are not valid in relation to the effects of the problems of fishing on environment. So when we are talking of fishing on environment, how does fishing affect the vegetation? How does fishing affect the water? How does fishing affect air? Air is polluted because of fishing through smoke released into the air from the fishing vessels. Okay? These fishing vessels will release smoke into the air from their engines. Okay? And that air pollutes, that smoke pollutes, those poisonous gases pollute the air or the atmosphere. So that is how I wanted you. So I want you to, in your books, I want you to note down under that question, outline the problems caused by fishing on the environment. I want you to note down, how does fishing affect, one, the atmosphere, two, the water bodies, three, the land, four, the vegetation, and five, man. How does fishing affect those five components of environment? Five components of environment, I've already given them to you. They are here: vegetation, water, land, air, man. Or we can give them in geographical terms. The five components of environment, we have atmosphere, we have lithosphere, we have hydrosphere, we have biosphere. Okay? And we also have the vegetation. Okay? So biosphere, these are the animals. Okay? Hydrosphere, this is water. Lithosphere, this is land. Atmosphere, this is air. Then vegetation. Those are the five components of environment. Let us quickly look at possible solutions to problems facing fishing industry. Possible solutions. In other words, what are some of the measures that can be done to improve fishing in East Africa? One, training of fishermen, workers to provide better skills, training of. Hey, somebody's saying Kayoga. Some fish feed on human bodies. Kayoga. Aha. That one is not a valid point. Kayoga, is that Kayoga Haj? Kayoga, that is not a valid point, so don't include it on your list. I want you to look at this. Should be the clue of how you should come up with your points on effects of environment, effects of fishing on environment. This should be your clue. These components of environment should give you the clue on how to phrase your points. Are we together? These components of environment, I want you to have them in your books. Next solution is carrying out market research to tap other external markets for fish and other fish products. 3, formation of fishing cooperative societies to provide loans. Yes, fishing cooperative societies. People come together and form their cooperative groups, and through them they can improve the activity of fishing. Next, introduction of fish farming to supplement the natural fish resource. This is where we have people opening up fish farms, fish being put or grown in fish ponds. Okay, fish ponds, that is fish farming. Okay, and this one we are looking at it as a supplement to natural fish resources. Next, enforce strict quality control. Are we together there? Enforce strict quality control for better fish marketing. This point is developed along the lines that if the fish is of high quality, it will market itself. Okay, so you want to compete with the other international market, produce good quality fish, not fish that has already gone bad to be put on the market. That is how the quality of fish is jeopardized. When you put stale fish on the market, okay, that is already bad quality. Okay, when you put premature fish on the market, still that is bad quality. So, in order to improve the market, make sure that the quality of fish that you put on the market is of high quality, is good. 5, enforce. 6, the East African governments should tighten their policy on controlling indiscriminate fishing and sale of premature fish. Again, that is geared towards ensuring market. 7, formation of beach management units. There's a problem there, that word units, fish management units, where is it? Yeah, it is, those are 2 words. Fish management units to ensure controlled fishing and improve the sanitation of fish landing sites. Yes, to make sure that the fishermen are healthy and they are carrying out their activity in a clean environment. Next, rehabilitation of all feeder rods that connect landing sites in order to ease movement of fish to the market centers. Whenever the fish is easily moved to the market center, quality will be reassured, and we shall have the activity booming smoothly. Next, restocking of depleted waters with fish to ensure continuity of the fishing activity. Then next, number 10, enforce strict laws against pollution of water bodies, e.g. by monitoring waste management at industries, making sure that industries do not deposit their wastes into water bodies. Somebody is saying sensitizing fishermen Fishermen. Yes, Amal is giving us an addition, sensitizing fishermen, sensitizing the fishing community on the dangers of indiscriminate fishing. That should be point number 13. One of the measures, the last measures, this one is not there. It should be number 13 here. I want us to add it. Point number 13, sensitizing, 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 sensitizing fishermen, sensitizing fishermen, fishermen on better ways, or better methods, better ways or better methods of fishing. Are you there? Better methods of fishing to avoid indiscriminate fishing. That is good. Sensitizing fishermen on better methods of fishing. Very good. Or sensitizing fishermen against using bad methods of fishing like fish poisoning. Very good. And its effect on the environment. So that is point number 13. Next, we have the other, before we got to point number 13, there was point number 11 and 12 before we go to point number 13. The point that I would like to also echo is provision of security by establishing marine patrol units to control pirates on water bodies. Then there is also clearing of weeds and sads. Sads are those floating islands, okay? Sads. Ebisamba, in Uganda we call them ebisamba. So clearing those floating islands on the water bodies to allow fish multiplication and ease fishing activities. So where we have cleared them, the waters will be well aerated and the fish will be allowed to carry on with their metabolic activities. So with that, I have the measures. I have the measures. Now, next, reference questions. I have some reference questions for you here. One, you are required to draw a sketch map of East Africa and on it mark and name the Indian Ocean. Okay, we all know where the Indian Ocean is. Yes, place it there. Name any, mark and name any 3 inland freshwater bodies. I hope you understand what we mean by that. Inland water bodies. Okay, inland water bodies. Fresh inland water bodies. Fresh. Be careful. The next 2 fish landing sites on each water body. 2 fish landing sites on each water body that you have marked. So, fresh water bodies, what do we mean by these? These are water bodies that are not salty. Okay? Water bodies that are not salty. There are some water bodies that are salty. For example, Lake Magadi, Lake Katwe. Those are not freshwater bodies. Okay? So, when we talk of freshwater bodies, we want those water bodies that are not salty. I guess you get the difference here. Okay? I want, when you are looking at a question or when you are answering any question, take note, interpret each word that is used in the question. Each term that has been used, take those terms as pertinent. They are not there for decoration. No, they are there for you to interpret them. So if you fail to interpret the term fresh water, that is how you are going to fail the question. The next question, 2 fish landing sites. If you fail to interpret what we mean by fish landing site, you are not going to get the question answered correctly. Okay? So B, identify any three fish species found in Lake Victoria. Any three. C, describe the methods of fishing carried out in Lake Victoria. So don't bring in methods that are not used on Lake Victoria. I know we have so many types of I need that chat. So many types of fish in Lake Victoria. Mention any three. Don't mention types that are not in Lake Victoria. You can talk of, let me say, you can bring in tuna, yet tuna is not in Lake Victoria. Next, explain the problems facing the fishing industry in East Africa. Can you explain them? Remember, I told you what to do when you are explaining. Give the cause of the problem. Give the cause or give the effect. When you are explaining a problem, you must give the cause or the effect of the problem. Then next, outline measures being taken to promote the fishing industry in any one country in East Africa. I want you to be careful here. Because the question is saying outline, don't think you're just going to mention the point or list the points or list the measures and walk away with it. Please, no. You have to explain. Make sure you explain those measures, that if you're talking of a measure like sensitizing the fishermen, how is it being done? And why is it done? What problem is that measure going to solve? Okay? Sensitizing the fishermen. Some of you have a habit. You just say sensitizing the fishermen and leave it there. No. Go ahead and tell me, how is the sensitization done? What problem is it going to solve? Then not lastly, distinguish between marine fishing and freshwater fishing. Buwemba was already asking, what is marine fishing? Don't preempt me to give you the answers. You have the independence of the use of your gadgets. Google. If you are not understanding the question, you are at liberty to Google the question and make sure you answer it appropriately. Name any two marine, freshwater fish species caught in East Africa. So there is a problem here. The word East Africa was not complete. East Africa, fish species caught in East Africa. So with those questions, I want you to use them to revise the topic fishing in great depth, such that everything is held at your fingertips. Make sure you know everything. If there is anything that you would like to ask, any more questions for me, I'm here waiting for the questions. Please ask such that you are answered. I'm waiting. What? You want to see me? Okay. I'm here. I'm waiting for your questions. Please ask. Unmute. By unmuting. Please ask. I'm waiting for your questions. I'm ready to answer some of your questions. Please ask anything. I still have 2 minutes. I don't know. Whatever is possible. Obwedda bagyagala nno. Obwedda bagamba discussion group cannot be accessed. I'm waiting for your questions. I'm not seeing any questions. Lugowa Muhammad Kayaga. These are similar phase. Kasiri Amal Kaiwa. I'm not seeing any questions. Should I assume that everything is well? Does defiance mean that you have understood? No questions? If there are no questions, I'm out of here. No questions, no questions. Amal, Kayoga, Damlila. Where is Nachejo? Where did you go? Salma? Salma, where did you go? Buembo? Buembo, have you got the answer to marine fishing? Buembo, have you got the answer to marine fishing? What is marine fishing? Kati mwesirisizza biki? Nze n'ebyo ebimbowa sibyagala. You are boring me stiff. You have bored me stiff. Like the other time, I first had to tickle you into responding to my questions. Nga muli bazibu. Ngenze naye ngenze nyiize kubanga temumpadde interaction. Esembayo. Give me a smile at least. Yes, Kabanda, I'm waiting. Kabanda Jami. Yes, ask. At least Kabanda is going to ask. Agenda kumala ekisungu. Kabanda, my dear Kabanda. I guess you have become so tall. Anae Kabanda. Excuse me, what does indiscriminate fishing lead? Oh, excuse me. Indiscriminate fishing means, first of all, indiscriminate fishing, Kabanda, means that you fish without excusing the premature and without selecting which fish you should check or you should take. With indiscriminate fishing, even the premature fish is scooped out of the fishing ground. Is that clear, Kabanda? Even the premature fish is fished. Okay? So it leads to depletion, meaning it leads to exhaustion, completely doing away with the fish in the water body. Is that clear? So depletion means to exhaustively do away with something, to deplete something, or kubisanyawo. Okay? So because we are saying even the premature fish is removed from the water body, okay, there will be no room for continuous fishing because even the young fish has been removed. Kabanda, have you understood? Has everybody understood? Najima, you were typing. What happened? You have run away. Banang. I type mine here. Kabanda, have you run away? Okay. Everybody, to you all, Assalamu alaikum. To you all, Assalam. I'm leaving. Excuse me. Send it. So, yes, teacher. Kabanda said, yes, teacher. Okay. So, I want to assume that all is well. I thank you so much for being a good class. I was only joking when I said you have annoyed me for not being interactive, but that was not, I was not serious. I didn't mean it because you have been a very good class. You have been interactive. I thank you for all your responses. Kasirie, walaikum salam. Okay, very good. Teacher Salma, is it true? We shall have exams next week, Thursday. Yes. To you all, I want to say bye-bye. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I love you all. Take good care of yourselves. Those who can immunize, go and immunize yourselves. Assalamu alaikum. Doza,